Welcome to another podcast episode
Welcome!
with the third member of this family.
We have a new guest on the podcast today. Her name is Aziza.
She will teach you about love and how to process your emotions.
Yeah, well, we will teach you and she will be our assistant. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, that's
this
her
is a
cue.
national anthem.
It's her cue to go because she doesn't like it too much.
Okay.
So, welcome to the podcast. My name is Indra, the Shakti Awakener.
Well, they knew already.
Well, if you're new to my channel, no, they didn't know. So, hi for those of you who are new to my channel or
So
to
extra.
Sandra's channel.
So extra.
That's just me.
So Libra extra.
That's probably my Sagittarius moon, but whatever.
Okay.
Let's give it up for Miss Ruxandra from the Love Seat. Introduce yourself, Queen. Like, why are you sitting like that, looking at me like, what the hell? She's a bit in mourning. She's a bit in a grieving process, as you can see from her clothes.
Yeah, I've been in a grieving process for like, I don't know, 2 weeks for an old version of me that keeps on creeping up. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
like 20
it's
years.
a process, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we want to speak about like our best subject. I feel like it's the topic that we have been mastering, especially in the last weeks. And because we have been through so many challenges, we understood on a deeper level how to process our emotions, and we want to share this transmission with you, men and women who are watching this. So men will understand women on a deeper level, and women will also understand how to be women and how to invite men through their body, through their emotions, and we will teach them how to use their seductive energy even when it's vulnerable, even when it's in pain, even when she's suffering.
Yeah, so basically the topic for today will be how to process your emotions and how to express them, especially to men when you are dating or when you are in a relationship. So let's get started. We will cover from my background as a Tantra teacher and from her background as a mentor and steward of the Jinkies. So you will have both perspectives in terms of like how to consciously create the type of relationships that you desire from your feminine, and how to ask for what you want from the intelligence of your body and of your DNA and of your nervous system.
Yeah, I love this blend.
This is such a juicy topic, and this is just like so dear to our hearts because, like she said, this is the journey that we have been on for so many years to understand exactly how to express our desires and how our emotions, because it seems so easy, like the topic seems like so easy to just say what you need or say what you want, but it's actually harder than that. And there's so many layers to our emotions as women that we are keeping inside of ourselves, and we're not connected to our true desire. So then when we say something, it comes out as negative or as pushy or as controlling, or I know what you I feel like women will get this when they will hear it, you know, like they will see themselves in the words that I'm speaking.
Yeah, we will give some tangible examples from our lives so you can also understand how this behavior that is very deeply implanted inside of you is functioning through you, yet you're not aware of it most of the times, or maybe you are aware of these very little behaviors that are creeping up, but you don't know how to work with them, and you're judging them, and you're not leaning into the process, you're not inviting yourself to feel the angriness or the lower emotions, and then you're just keep on repeating the same identity, the same loop that you don't want to be in actually. So I feel like if you're truly like taking a deep breath and come down into your heart, and you're truly listening from the space of your body and not from the mind, but from this like open space of taking responsibility of what you're feeling, and that yes, you are producing your own suffering, then you will understand that you are literally decoding the secret code of life. This is literally the most powerful code in life. It is how to process human suffering and emotions.
Yes. So what she just told you right now, I think we could take it as like the first step, the first advice to really like make it very clear, like
structured,
to make it very structured from her perspective, embracing the pleasure and pain of life at the same time. And the practice that you can do to help yourself in this situation is, like she said, to come down from the mind into the body and to let yourself feel the waves of intensity that are coming through. Because I feel like as women we either push them away, so they even get stuck in their bodies and form disease. Ultimately we work with women who were actually having physical illness because of their unprocessed wounds and emotions, and because of their inability to speak their desires to men, and moving them through your body and allowing them to really penetrate through you and to really help you see.
That is Tantra.
Yeah, and to really help you see like where are you falling short on yourself, like where are you not seeing yourself to your full potential, why are you denying all of these emotions that could actually turn you into a greater woman and could actually be your superpower.
I want to just, sorry, I feel like I want to give a framework because you've been speaking in very big lines, but I want to give like a step-by-step process that they can apply in their own life. So you can literally receive this as a mentorship session for free. As a gift from our heart to yours. So this is how we process emotions after years and years of trial and pain and suffering. And it's not like we learned this from someone, but we learned from our own experience, because I never found this kind of advice anywhere else but in the Gene Keys book. And it's not like in the Gene Keys it says first accept, second feel it in your body, third, you know, it's like you understand this in your body when you are in the experience of suffering, you know.
Yes, exactly. I feel like a lot of my knowledge did come from the Gene Keys, but also some of the Tantra teachers that I work with, which are like some of the renowned Tantra teachers in the world, like David Deida. He talks about this in the course that I took with him. It's about dropping into your feminine to allow, I mean, he was saying it in a very poetic way, you know, which I think for some people it's harder to understand, but basically allow the wave of emotions to be felt as it is. Because again, as women, like I said, we either avoid it or we try to change it. And before we were doing this as well, like you feel an intense emotion of pain or anger or suffering, and you think that it's wrong to feel that because you were either shamed for your desires growing up as a little girl, you were either brainwashed by society and by the spiritual world that if you are feeling the negative emotions then you're creating a negative outcome, so that is basically spiritually bypassing your own human suffering.
That is the biggest BS.
But the thing is that it's a paradox that when you feel it, you actually shift it. Like you just let yourself feel it and be in that, because this is how you honor it. Like even in the Gene Keys book, I think today I read a paragraph about this. It's like when you allow it, you honor yourself and you honor life. If you don't allow it to move through you, it's like you are not honoring the cycles of life and death that are moving through you.
Exactly. So I would like to start with the framework so you can understand the step-by-step process, as Indra already got into some of the steps, and from her Tantra experience we received already some insights. But I just want to make this very structured. So first of all, you are becoming aware of yourself. You are becoming aware of how you're feeling. Are you in a bliss state? Are you in suffering? Are you in pain? And this step-by-step process is very helpful when you are in suffering and in pain. But you need to become aware of yourself that, hey, I'm in suffering. I'm angry. I am in this way. Because most people, here is the missing key. They are not aware of that. And they let the mind keep on repeating that. And they are staying in the pain without actually getting into the body to feel it. They think about it. So first of all, you're becoming aware. I'm feeling shitty. I'm in a shadow space. My mind is overthinking. I don't know how to process my emotions. I'm overwhelmed. I'm confused. I don't know how to go about this. Then the next step that you can do is to actually sit down and begin with the breath. Because the first step is to understand that your body and your nervous system are dysregulated. So you want to bring yourself back into a space of peace and connection, not like the ultimate peace of like no mind, just bliss, just happiness, because you cannot force that on yourself, but you need to come into a space in which you make your body feel safe. And how you can do that is by taking a few deep inhalations, by touching your body, massaging yourself, and acknowledging that you became aware of the fact that you are stressed, and now you are doing the very best that you can to get out of that stress space, but at the same time you want to let yourself be in stress, because the third step is to understand that this will be the point of transcendence. This is the process processing through you, and by being there with your body and your breath, you're acknowledging it, and then you let the body do the work. As Indra said, it's like this process of pleasure and pain that you need to hold in your body, because most of us are chasing the pleasure moments and we are forgetting that the pain got us to the pleasure. So you gotta treat the pain in the same way that you would treat the pleasure.
With honor and reverence, and
Exactly.
understanding the process.
Yeah. So what we understood recently is that when you're going into your body, as a fourth step, when you're going into the body and you're feeling the stress and you're letting it move through you, you're sitting there with the pain, you start to breathe in honor and respect and trust in the process. You're not trying to change it, as Indra said. We're not trying to heal anything, but we are feeling respect and reverence towards life and God. As Indra said, that she read from the Jinki of Grace, I believe, that you gotta let the emotion be felt as if God put it there inside of you, and it carries a secret purpose, and you're sitting there for the secret and the alchemy that wants to come through from that process. So when you're breathing in trust, you're breathing in acceptance, you're breathing in honor, your body starts to open, and you instantly shift into much more relaxation and happiness, like you're working with the biology of the body. So inevitably, because emotions are just chemistry, your chemistry will instantly change.
I love it. Very specific, very accurate, very straight to the point. And what I want to add, because I think this is a very important topic for all women, is how to go about sharing these emotions that are more challenging with your partner. Because I recently was in a situation, in a connection that I have in my love life, where it's not like he did something wrong necessarily, but the communication style was very different than mine. So instead of attacking myself and taking upon myself to teach him how to be a man, basically, or to teach him how to communicate, because I feel like many women have this like very subtle control over how a man should act and how a man should be like for them. And obviously no man is like perfect, but how to bring to his awareness that maybe you were hurt by something that he said, or maybe when you're trying to initiate him into like deeper presence into his life, or deeper awareness of his own shadows and emotions. I think it's very important to, number one, not be reactive about the emotions that you're feeling, and first take time to look into yourself and understand if you're connecting with the highest aspect of your feminine. Let her speak through you the highest way of you that you can express these desires and emotions towards him. First of all, get into a space of connection and meditation with yourself, and really tap into like the highest frequency of the feminine inside of you. So that may look like even connecting with the left side of your body, because that usually for women is holding the feminine, and maybe like putting some music on and like moving your body a little bit to just get out of the mind and all of the stories that you're creating, that he did this and what do I need to tell him, because immediately when he does something that you're not okay with, you start to project and you start to run that story in your mind of like, okay, this is what I'm gonna tell him, like I'm gonna tell him this and this and this and that,
but it comes from the mind, it's not the truth of the body.
Exactly, it's like just the first instinct of the mind. But if you're an aware woman, let yourself let go of that first instinct and go deeper. Just drop deeper, breathe into your body, move your chest, touch your breast, move your body, just feel how you're anchoring and you're connecting with the source of the divine feminine, of the sacred feminine within and without. And for me, it always feels like there is a higher entity that is coming from the outside, but also through me, through my body. And it feels like there is some messages that are coming through that are telling me, it's like another voice that is coming through that, you know, can be a certain goddess or a certain higher aspect of you that is coming through and saying, this is what you need to say.
Exactly.
And it's exactly what my ego would want to say, but in a more
softer, loving,
softer, maybe even more empowered way, maybe even less reactive way, in a way that I am holding my standards without actually falling into victimhood.
Yes. I just want to add a little note here because you explained this process very well, but let's think about us in the past. It was very hard for us to penetrate and to understand this. Like, that's the edge that we are helping women and men step into. That's why I feel like you should come and work with us, because we're literally gonna take you through this process in an instant. But for you on your own, if you didn't do already a lot of like emotional healing work, it would be a bit hard to truly drop from the mind into the body, and it will feel weird. It will feel weird to move your body. You're gonna be like, what is this? What is this gonna bring me? Why do I need to touch my breast? Why do I need to move my body? How is this happening? And also there's this difference. I can feel that some people are asking, like, how do I know what's the true voice of my womb and the intuition versus what's in the mind?
For me, it feels like the difference between the princess, immature side of the feminine that is reactive and instantly wants to throw her emotions at people, at men, and throw her suffering, and the difference between the queen that is actually embodied in her standards. She knows how to communicate authentically, non-reactively, and because of all the years of inner work that we have done, because we've been through these exact same shadows, we understand how the queen is speaking through us. We understand how to let this higher aspect come through us, because even if in the moment we feel a bit like the princess, we know exactly how to drop into the queen and let her speak through us, and we know her voice. She's so clear inside of us. It's like the voice of a divine mother, the voice of a higher entity that is speaking through you, and you listen and you know that that's the true you. But that takes years and years and years of embodiment, you know. But when you obviously come to work with us, that process gets to be easier and more refined, you know, because it's definitely tailored to your own needs.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
In terms of like then recognizing that voice and how she wants to speak through you, you record that message inside of yourself, and only after that you speak to your partner about this.
You come from a regulated space, like you communicate that you need to take some time for yourself to process on your own, but you also communicate when you feel like you're complete and you're fulfilled and even satisfied in your own process.
Exactly, yeah. And when you come face to face, for example, in a conversation, you don't lead. I want to give like some specific examples. You don't lead and you come to him and be like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
That's the most off-putting energy for a man. Even for a man who's really devoted to you and really loves you, that energy will feel like some ickiness, like some stings, like something that is like,
yeah, like she's the mother and she's kind of like punishing the little child.
Yeah, it will feel very like he wants to pull back because he doesn't want to feel like that reactive energy. But for example, you come face to face to him and be like, so I was thinking of something, and I know that we talked about this, and this is how I feel, and maybe you're holding his hand and you're looking into his eyes, and maybe he wants to say something reactive, because some men will want to be reactive, but you're like, no, I want to say that I'm here with you and we can breathe together, and you're like really re-establishing this connection of like safety and trust.
Exactly.
Because as long as you express your desires in this container of like intimacy and deep vulnerability, nothing bad can happen. There's no reactivity from his end or your end. And when you're like breathing through your body and you're speaking from an open heart, and you are taking that recording of what the higher feminine spoke through you and you're speaking to him, he will be more open to receive it, because you're not coming with this attitude of emasculating him.
Yeah, I feel like it's important to also share that when you're sitting with each other in front of each other, you can also take some time to connect your hearts, because a woman can imagine and feel that energetically instantly. And also the breath, the more that you deepen your breath, the more that you send the signal to his nervous system that he can deepen his breath. And when you deepen into your breath, your whole body is relaxing and your hearts are being open, like literally a warm fuzzy feeling of love and acceptance is arising. And I also feel like there are some women there who are maybe even shy to speak about this, or they will feel intimidated, but I feel like it's the best to open the space by saying, I'm feeling shy around this situation, I'm not feeling in my power, I'm feeling intimidated to share about this, but I need to do it. Or you can even let your voice tremble and you can stutter over your words, and you can not speak correctly, but be like, this is the most vulnerable thing about me. So you can let yourself be seen in that kind of vulnerability, because we are humans, and this is the action itself that will open you to a greater love. It's not about what you say, but it's about the frequency and how raw and open you are to that space. A really good man, like a high value man, or a man that is aware of himself and he honors the feminine and the woman in front of him, he carries such a great depth and presence and power that he will make your nervous system feel safe to share even when you're angry. And you can honor him. Like, this happened to me the other day in a date, on a first date, that I met a high value man, and he was giving me, so let me go back. I was sharing with him a very vulnerable part of me, and I know what's inside of me. Like, I'm very connected to those emotions, and I felt very safe with him to share that from the first time. It's the first man that I shared with transparently and openly everything that I'm going through, and he loved the transparency. He said, I love how expressed and transparent you are. And he gave me that permission because he was opening his energy, he was listening, and then he reflected an advice, a piece of advice that I didn't ask for, but I was kind of like, open to receive his reflection. So at this point, if you don't want to receive a piece of advice from your man or whoever is there, you can just say, I just want to be heard. Or if you want to receive a solution and a piece of advice and you really trust the person, you can also voice that. So it's your boundary. So he gave me that piece of advice and I listened to it. But before, when I was in my princess energy, I would be resistant to receive that because I know it doesn't resonate with me. But now, because I understood that God is speaking through that man in front of me and I need to stay open to the situation, no matter what he says, if it resonates or not, I stayed, I listened, I was very calm in my nervous system and my body. I was like laying back, receiving it. And then I said, thank you for your reflection, but it doesn't resonate with me. Like, you don't know, and anyone from the outside doesn't know what I'm going through, and I don't need another piece of advice. And I'm actually very angry that you shared with me this, and everyone is sharing with me solutions that don't resonate with me. And in that moment, I could feel from my belly how I held that angriness. I was not like, oh, I'm angry, whatever. I spoke to him as I'm speaking right now, from a regulated space, but I felt it. And he was so open to receive that. That moment liberated that emotion and that angriness that was stuck there in my body for so many months, because I just let people tell me their opinions over what I'm feeling. And that showed me what a great power I have inside of me, and I don't need his solution. I just need him to be a mirror, to listen to me.
Yeah, I feel like this is the pattern that a lot of men, even like we said, high value men are doing this, because men are very prone to solution and to problem solving. So even if he's there to listen to you, he may go into giving advice because that's his way of supporting you and helping you. But if you share with him, like you did very nicely, actually just want to be heard, seen, and held space for, he will understand it and he will do that.
Give that to you.
So easy.
And whatever the problem is that you're going through, if that man is truly for you and he is meant for you and he's the one and he has an open heart, and even if he's not for you and he just lives in love and unity with all the beings, he will instantly help you resolve the problem.
Of course.
But this guy didn't help me necessarily resolve the problem in the outer reality, but he mirrored back to me my power. But I feel like that's the next step, the ultimate next step that not necessarily a lot of people will take.
I mean, that's the edge for them.
Yes, exactly.
That's the edge of growth for them. Yeah. And I feel for a lot of women, the edge of growth is just this piece of speaking your emotions and your desires, because again, a lot of women were taught to repress their voice, and so it's even difficult for them to say I'm shy, and it's like they want to hide themselves and they want to avoid these difficult conversations, and then resentment for not bringing this stuff up. But then this is where you need to come into our work and do the feminine embodied work, because this is the work that will completely change the way you see yourself, the way you act in love, in all the relationships that you have, and in the way that you hold your power as a woman.
So if you enjoyed receiving all of this wisdom, we have an incredible mentorship container for 6 months for the queen who feels like she wants to take her love life, her business, her health and everything to the next level. And this is a very deep program in which we teach you how to embody all of these juicy feminine mysteries and how to constantly feel yourself as if you are the empress of your reality.
You can find out more details about the mentorship in the description, and you can message us with the word queen to apply for the program.
Yeah, and if you want to get into private one-on-one work together with us individually, we also have our own mentorship containers. But if you want to receive the best of both worlds and the full force of both of our intelligence and wisdom, then we definitely invite you to check the Queen Mentorship container.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.